Hi everyone, so today we're doing Unit 10, Lesson 6, use a formula for area. So you learned that the formula yesterday was area equals length times width. Today we're doing something a little bit different with that. But before we get more into the actual lesson, your problem of the day today is a word problem. I do not want you to write this word problem down. You do not need to rewrite it. But I do need you to write the equation and solve. So I don't want just the answer. You need to write the equation, solve, and then the unit. So I'll read it with you right now. Miss D has 24 students. In class, they sit at 4 tables. How many students are at each table? So I want you to think about what you have right now. So you know you have the whole. You have a part. You have the 4 tables that they sit at. Okay, so what are you trying to figure out here? How many students are at each table? I have 24 students. They sit at 4 separate tables. And I'm looking for how many are at each. So think about that for a second. Pause the tape. Okay, so you should have the answer if your tape was paused. And we know that you're dividing here because I'm taking my 24 students and I'm dividing them up. I'm taking those students and I'm wondering how many of them, which equal number will be at each table. Okay, so it's going to be 24 divided by 4 groups equals 6, and it will be 6 students per table. And I kind of made a mistake here now that I'm rereading it. I shouldn't have just put in class they sit at 4 tables. I should have put something about there's an equal amount of students that sit at 4 tables, because we know that when we're working with division, there always is an equal amount at each table. Okay? And then the way we would have made this a multiplication problem was if I said there are 4 tables and 6 students at each table, how many students do I have in all? Because then we're looking for the whole. Okay, so your objective today is I will use the area formula to solve for missing values. And the key word here is missing values. So let's look at our vocabulary one more time. We know that the length of an object is the longest part of the object, the longer side. The width is the shorter side of an object. And as you noticed yesterday, the length doesn't have to be this bottom part right here. So if we look at our Because of Winn-Dixie book, and you can see already that this side is longer. So this would be considered the length and this would be considered the width. All right, so as long as you're looking for the longer side of the object, that's the length, okay? The shorter side of the object is the width. So today, if we look at our steps, we know that our formula is area equals length times width, but we have to substitute the known values into the formula. So it's going to give us either a length or a width today, but one of them is going to be missing, and we have to solve for the missing value. So let's look at my model. Directions. Use the formula for area to find the missing measurement. So in this one, it just wants us to find the area. So we know that area equals length times width. Well, let's substitute. Area equals my length. My longer side is 7 centimeters. My shorter side is 4 centimeters. And I know that 7 times 4 is equal to 28. So A equals 28. We need to make sure that we write square centimeters because we're talking about area. So it's square centimeters is my unit. Number 2, find the missing measurement. So we're missing something here. So let's rewrite our formula. Area equals length times width. Okay, so now we have the area. We know what the area is. My area is 40. My length, my longer side is 8. But I don't know what my width is. So how am I going to solve for that? 8 times something equals 40. Well, you need to remember what you know about your math facts. Okay, you can either do and figure out, well, 8 times what equals 40? Use what you already know about multiplication to get there. Or you know that we can do the inverse. We can divide, right? 40 divided by 8 equals what? So I want you to think about that for a second. And you know that 40 is equal to 8 times 5. Okay? So, 5, your answer is, we're looking for a width, so I'd put width equals 5 square inches. Okay? So we've done missing values before. So you're doing the same thing. We're just using this to find the area, the missing part now, but when we're focusing on area. So let's look at structured writer practice. Get your pencil out. Let's do this together. So pause it if you need to. Number 1, find the area. So we're looking for the middle. We're looking for that surface area. So number 1, step 1, we're going to write the equation. So everyone's going to write together A equals length times width. Then we are going to fill in our blanks. So A equals, what's the length? Think about it. You should get 6. What's the width? Think about it. You should get 2, my shorter side. So area is equal to 6 times 2. You should know this one. 12. And then what is my unit? Square meters. Okay. And then let's do number 2 together. We're going to find the missing measurement. So once again, let's write our formula. I'm not going to say it out loud this time because you're going to do it. Should have gotten that. Okay, so area equals, let's fill in the blanks. Our longer side is our length, 10 centimeters, times something. We don't know what the width is. So how do I solve for the width? That's what I'm looking for. Well, I know that my area, oh, I should have written 40 here. Okay. I know that my area is 40, so 10 times, I'm sorry, friends, 60. 60. So I know that my area is 60 square centimeters, so 10 times what equals 60? So think about that for a second. You can either use the multiplication fact that you know, or you can divide. How many times does 10 go into 60? Or 10, how many times equals 60? And you should get 6. So that would mean that this missing part would be 6 centimeters or square centimeters. Okay? So for the rest of this, you are doing the same thing for final check for understanding and student practice. And then your challenge. If you want to focus on your challenge problems, find the area of the shape and describe how you found it. Well, you have to look at these two because these aren't holes. So you need to figure out how can I combine these to make them into a hole. This one's a little bit trickier, and then it wants you to actually write how you figured it out. Okay? So if you have any questions, then go ahead and ask me later. But this is a really good practice for you to go back to recalling your multiplication facts and your division facts. Okay, thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you later.